after applying the certificate of currency. Whether the state government is desirous of taking complete departure from the government order electoral agencies, or this departure is only to the limited extent of selection of graduate driving. These issues are required to be clarified to the state government, as such as the state government corrective implementation directive, giving better particulars and details with reference to the aforementioned issues raised by the order. While the learned senior council appearing for the appearance advanced the submission of various aspects, one of the alternate submissions is that the state government is in urgent need of appointing 15,000 graduate primary. The appearance will be out of consideration as the certainly orders asked for the learned secondary are in limited numbers and has submitted their claims complying with the necessary formalities. The state government may consider to accommodate these others. Also, the selection process. The state government may also make its stand clear in this regard in the additional affidavit. May I request this honorable court to take the affidavit. These queries have been addressed. Paragraph 3 onward. I'll read the affidavit. Whenever necessary, I'll refer to the that will throw light on what you're stating. Now, I can see paragraph 3 onward. I state that this one report, while it's already in 9 is for certain information. One amongst them is the method criteria adopted for finalizing the number of candidates to the extent of acts have been considered and adopted for finalizing the number of days to 1. It is submitted in the notification issued on 21/3/2022 for appointment of graduate faculty members in public administration. 15,000 posts were notified for issues. 5,000 for Kalyan Karnataka districts and 5,000 for other districts. Next R1, which is at page 8 of my affidavit. There is a category-wise reservation number of posts, and the horizontal is the language or the subject for which those posts are rated. Now, can see language English teacher, GM 346, SC 311, total, I want total 1,360. Similarly, social studies, people Urdu, Kannada, Marathi, Kannada medium, Urdu, there are various subjects where we notified where vacancies have been notified in the original notification. Now, Manoj also kindly that on the next page, the total the total vacancies are 15,000. At the right hand corner. For example, 6,681 is general merit, SC 2,555, 577 on 282 degree, and total is 15,000. Totally 4,470.
Yes.
One more aspect of it, come back to page 2. I read Roman 2.
Yes.
It is submitted that notification for appointment were issued district-wise, and accordingly, 35 individual notifications were issued by appointing authorities of 35 districts. Now, I will pause here for a moment. These are 35 educational districts. Subject to tax, I think there are 31 revenue districts. For the educational districts, the state is divided into 35. So for each district, there would have been a separate notification issued, again subject-wise. If all 35 are added together, it comes to 15,000. So therefore, subject-wise, each district, and why it had to be done district-wise, each district had its own number of vacancies in various subjects. So for example, what is possibly, just to give an example, in Belgaum, there might have been a greater need for Marathi medium teachers, as opposed to someone say in Mysore district or Tamil. So keeping all of that in mind, individual notifications were issued for all 35 districts. I didn't want to burden the court with all 35 notifications. As a sample, you can also see at page 10. That's for Chipala. Now, at that notification, you can also see running page 97. Put it as illustrated, just to point out how the process has been conducted. Sorry, this is in Kannada, but only for the limited purpose of how it has been done. If you allow to see the Anubandha 1, which is on page 27, the table below. This is Jilya Hesaru, Chikballapur Jilya, then the notified posts, and Malava kinds of Bhasha, English Vishaya Hotegalo, the 23 total. Then Ganita Mata Vignana Vishaya, then Samadha Pradagalo, then Jiva Vigna. So for each subject, and also this, the language of instruction also is lower. For example, Kannada, all three are Kannada. So presumably for Chikballapur, there was no need for any Urdu or Marathi medium. So for each district, based on the vacancies, these are the government schools, 35 different such notifications were issued. Come back to the act. Midway through the Roman 2 paragraph, thereafter, the sentence. Thereafter, competitive examinations were conducted throughout the state in all 35 districts on 21st May 2022 and 22nd May 2020. The candidates were required to appear for the examination in the district where they have prepared the application. 3 papers were there in comparative examination, which is first paper on general knowledge of 150 marks, second paper on subject content knowledge, and third paper on language ability for 100. It is submitted at a minimum score of 45% was prescribed in the second paper and 50% in the third paper, which was taken as per the norm for eligibility, irrespective of the category under which the candidate applied for. There were no minimum marks fixed for the first paper, but attendance was compulsory in the subject, and the score was also considered when preparing the merit list. They submit that while preparing the merit list, the weightage of marks is considered as this may not be totally relevant. Skip to paragraph 5. This is important. So it is submitted that out of 1,06,083 applicants, a total number of 67,892 candidates were found eligible for selection in all subjects. Therefore, out of a total of 1,06,083 applicants, only 67,892 got the qualifying marks as prescribed in the notification. In the previous paragraph, I mentioned 45% was the prescribed percent. So the remaining 38,190 were immediately disqualified. So the can you see the only as reference page 31. Was an aggregate of all the districts put together. The breakup of each of the districts was 2 volumes. So at page 31, annexure R3, allows the find the right hand bottom column. Totally, in all the subjects and all the categories put together, only 67,892 out of 1,06,000 had qualified based on the entrance examination or the qualified exam, the passing. We come back to paragraph 6 of the This will answer the question your lordship raised about how this 22,432 came about. It is submitted that out of 67,892 eligible candidates, one is eligibility list was prepared, and instead of the required 30,000, now that would be logical because 15,000 posts into 2, if 1 is to 30,000, whatever required. Only 22,432 candidates were selected on roster and merit basis for all 35 districts. This is because some of the categories did not have twice the required number of candidates. Now, just to give an example, whenever we come back, I'm sorry, going back and page 32. Page 32 to 37 is a breakup of all the districts. Now, only as a matter of illustration, whenever can you see the first one, Bangalore law. This is what? Language, English. The first row. First. Total vacancies notified were 12. Ideally, in a 1:2 vacancy, 24 candidates should have been called. Now, number of eligible candidates were totally 47. Now, again, ideally, out if there are 47, 24 whatever vacancy. But only 21 were called. Now, I'll explain why. Now, in each of the notifications, as a point, there is a notified vacancy under each category. Now, under GM, there will be a notified vacancy under SC. So, if we take the total number, it will be 15,000. Multiplied into it ought to be 30,000. But what happened was in each of the categories, they may not have been. In fact, in several cases, they have not been twice the number of vacancies. So, even though overall we ought to have called 30,000, but in each of the categories, we had a shortage. So, overall, we could only call 22,432.
That is because some of this posts were notified posts.
So that is clear as well. So as I was pointing out in the Chikbara, for example. Now, for example, take English language. There may have been 24, I'll just take an example, 25 vacancies, I'm keeping an even number to vacancies. Now, if we had to call for 24 vacancies, 48 people, that should be the overall number. But that 24 would have been broken up into, for example, 10 GM, 5 SC, 5 ST, and let us say 4 282, just for simplicity purpose. Now, ideally, we should have got 48 candidates, 24 into 2. But what happened was, let us say in GM, there were 10 notified posts, but only 5 were eligible. So therefore, we could not have called more than the number of people who were eligible. So therefore, there was a shortage.
Because you did not find eligible candidate for the post.
That's right. For the post, for that subject, for in that district.
So it means
In
that,
that category.
that will remain vacant
That's it.
for want of eligible candidate.
That's it. So out of, if there were 15,000 notified posts, finally only 22,000.
What is the eligible criteria there? What is the unique eligible criteria which you did not find even you had 67,892 candidates?
And even though we have 67,000, on merit able to be ranked. Now, when we call 1:2, we can at best, let us say, there were 15,000, all of them were eligible. Even out of 67,892, we could at best have called only 30,000 if we applied a 1:2 ratio.
Correct.
But we could not have called 30,000 because in each category, we could not fill up all the vacancies for that particular subject in that particular district because each recruitment is qua subject, qua district, and qua category. So in each, there is a vertical and a horizontal. So the verticals would be, say, the categories, SC, ST, GM, so on. The horizontal would be the subject, and each of them would be qua the district. So therefore, even though in an ideal situation, 30,000 should have been called in a 1:2
So
ratio.
this 67,000 is the entire state.
Entire state. 67,000 passed the exam, that's all it is.
For the district wise, there was still shortfall.
No, not just across all the districts, across the entire state, 67,800 and odd got the minimum qualifying percentage.
No, we understand. No, we're trying to understand the next level.
Yes.
You said if it is district level, if you consider,
Yes.
was there a shortfall of eligible candidate district wise also?
No, but not, they might, in fact, in some cases, now if I also come back to page 32, I just illustrated by way of example. Like if I also, I'll just point out by way of illustration. Now, in the first row at page 32,
Correct.
the total vacancies were 24 would have been 1:2, number of eligible 47. So actually, there were more than more candidates than actually the 1:2 vacancy. However, the shortfall was of 3 because in each category we could not find the sufficient number of candidates. Now, for example, there may have been more than 1:2 in GM, but less than 1:2 in SC, more than 1:2 in SC, but less than 1:2 in say 2A. So all put together. Now, obviously, if there is more than 1:2 in GM, we can't slot the GM candidate in one of the other vacancies. Which is why in the first row there is a shortage of around 3. But the other, if I was to see the 4th row from the top, this is an example where we didn't even have enough sufficient number of eligible candidates. Another country is Bangalore Law, Canada Science, 4th from the top. 46 is the total vacancies. 1:2 would have been 92. But the number of eligible candidates from Bangalore Law were only 62. So this is a very dynamic situation. There could be an excess, there could be a shortfall, which is why instead of 30,000, 22,433 were called for the first level of document verification. Now that is where this issue at the first, the issue that gave rise to litigation arose. Now again, if my lord is very on this, because I just continue reading the affidavit, possibly throw further light on what I'm trying to explain. Come back to page 3 of the affidavit.
Just a minute. What they have called number of
The Bangalore North,
Yes, the first one,
yes, you have 12 vacancies.
yes.
1:2 or to having 24. Number of eligible candidates, you had 47, but you called only 21.
That's right.
Can you just explain that?
My lord, I kindly come to page 38. So, again, this is slightly longish table. I'll explain this one. Again, the first one, Bangalore North, subject Hindi. Now, DM, the first category. Vacancies were in fact zero. So there's no question of considering anyone under GM. Next category will be SC. 45 vacancies for selected four. So we found enough candidates to fill up all the 45 vacancies for Bangalore North, English, SC. SC. Also again no problem. C1. I'm so sorry. This is the 1:1 list. I'm sorry. I'm going one ahead. No, I'm coming back to what you watched. Now, since it is Mala's category wise.
No. Common prudence suggests that you had 12 vacancies, 24 ought to have been called, you had eligible candidate 47. What made you to find shortage of 3 there again?
Now this 47 comprised of GM, SC, ST, 2A, 2D, 3A, 3B, and C1. Now we can only call 1:2 in each of the categories.
That you mentioned. That is
So
in
there,
GM.
even the 47 total eligible. Now those 47 would be spread across all the categories. Now 47 would include GM, would include various categories.
So in each category you had not find
That's right. And we could not find the double of the number of vacant posts
of that particular category.
of that category. Therefore, overall there may have been more number of candidates. For that category, we did not find 1:2.
Yes.
Yes. But the other, this reading paragraph 6, Roman 6. Start paragraph 7. Paragraph 7 in the next page above. It's submitted that, for instance, in the case of mathematics and science and biological science, eligible candidates were found to be less than the notified at a point. It is a very dynamic situation. More specifically, with respect to mathematics and science and fashion, 254 vacancies were notified, but eligible candidates were 280 numbers. Likewise, in CC, it is only illustrated. And the list of shortage also is there. Now, this is again, as I mentioned, paragraph 8. It is submitted that even though in some districts the candidates are more, they cannot be selected in some other districts as the selection is district wise. In other words, an applicant who applied in a particular district and wrote a competitive exam in that district cannot be considered for some other district. That was without saying. We applied only for say Chikmagalur, they can be considered only Chikmagalur.
Now, applying all these, you can accommodate this many number of the candidates.
Understand later. And why it cannot be done without doing violence to those notifications? Because then, necessarily, since it is a district-wise, subject-wise notification. Now, all the vacant posts have already been filled for that particular subject. Now, obviously, an English teacher who has applied in my school cannot be accommodated for an Urdu post which may have fallen vacant in, say, Bidar, or vice versa. An Urdu teacher in Urdu.
No, we
science
quite get
teacher
that.
in Bidar.
We quite get that. The eligibility, the question here is for them
Yes.
that if our certificates were considered
Yes.
without changing the 1986 order,
Correct.
we would have stood a chance as their case. If that is considered in the districts where you have found vacant posts, can they be accommodated there at least?
If they had to be, they already would have been accommodated to be messed up. Because this exercise after the 12-26 circular was first applied, which came to be challenged before the learner season. And after applying the learner season, that is all. And this is important because we did not take complete departure of 12-86. We had to take complete departure of 12-86. The persons such as the appellants would not even have been considered. But since the process was already ongoing and we did not want to give rise to further litigation, the decision was taken that we will apply the 12-86 circular as well as the order of the learner season, which means that the petitioners were also who were outside the fray earlier were then brought back within the fray. And then the exercise was redone. And when that exercise was redone, whoever could be accommodated were already accommodated. Now, this is most important. This entire list today, which is taking before me, revolves only around 450.
Any specific instances where you have accommodated the candidate who was under the circular 1986?
In fact, when 12-86 was applied, and then when the learner single order was passed, the entire exercise was redone. Now, a fresh exercise was done based on the inter-se merit of those candidates, because initially those outside the fray were brought back within the fray, and when that exercise was redone, which is not submitted, and that exercise was redone, 451 candidates only who were originally in the provisional select list earlier of November 2020 were left out. So this list really revolves around 451 only. Now, why am I pressing on that? Since May, the recruitment of 13,500 teachers has been installed for these 451 posts only. And in fact, not anything about the interim order of May 2020. In fact, would have been restricted to those number of posts only, because the remaining 13,000 have nothing at all to do with this litigation. They may have some other issues with regard to Hyderabad, Karnataka, and so on. But this issue is restricted to, and in fact, I stated that in paragraph 11 of our affidavit.
Page 5.
Page 5. It is submitted that on account of the regulatory exercise by applying the circular unit 12-86 and the judgment of the learner single, and by redrawing a fresh list based on the individual merit of the candidates. 451 candidates present in the earlier selection list have not found place in the revised selection list published on 8/3/2020. Therefore, the total 1:1 candidates who were selected were 13,352. If you were to exclude this 451, 12,901 posts are completely unaffected by the litigation.
Have you made any category of district-wise category of this 451 candidates? Yeah. Page 5. Next page.
Yeah, so category wise.
They say they will exclude it. Yeah, for this. The district wise, those posts, subject to those posts, the rest they can go probability. It's 451 and this court.